What's up, everybody? We are live. All right, let's copy this. Let's chat, get a couple people in here. Let's see if we can get Artem on the show today. Yes, we are 4 days out from absolute insanity. I'm sorry, 5 days out from insanity. I think this event is going to be probably the biggest thing we've ever done. Going to definitely rival some of the craziest tournaments we've ever seen or been to in this state. I'm curious to see who's going to win the East vs. West qualifier spots. Super interesting. Such a big opportunity. It's very likely that some of the Florida guys actually take it. It's hard to say who's going to take it because we have so many guys. I think the 98 class in particular is going to be absolutely insane. That being said, I think that there's a possibility Matt King or Artem are a strong favorite in that class. The 54s, they're all bunched in with the 76ers if they want to qualify. They're separate classes at the tournament, but the 54s don't actually have a qualifier. So the 76ers will go in the 170 class. I anticipate that class is going to be crazy, crazy stacked. Probably not going to be any free matches the whole day. Most of the people coming to this are absolute hitters. And you're going to have only 2 people can qualify. Obviously, the FAL points thing is something separate, and it's all going to be tallied. So that goes down to top 3. But, you're going to get 4 or 5 good guys per weight class hopping in there. And only 2 of them are going to be able to go to the final in Virginia for that. So absolutely huge. It's going to be top-notch event. We're putting hours and hours just into the setup and the production. Talked with Robert Kelly. The live stream is going to be incredible. It's honestly looking like it's a great show. A lot of people have been messaging different things about the weigh-ins. We are thinking of adding another weigh-in, a South Florida weigh-in, Chris Rusakis' location. I don't know that we've heard any objections to that. What's up, Dane? I see you looking pumped in the hyperbaric time machine. The 240s, that class is going to be absolutely sick because our 220 class is pretty deep down here, but the 220s don't have a qualifier for East vs. West. It's all still relevant for the league, but for the East vs. West itself, they don't do a 220. So they do a 200 and then a 240. So love it or hate it, you could take that up with Ingen. We're just trying to qualify our Florida guys and get them going. But the 240 class is essentially going to be probably most of the good guys from 220s are going to jump up. And then you got all the 240 guys plus a lot of 260 guys are probably cut and shit like that. So 240s is going to be a gauntlet. 220s very well might be able to be won. It might not be too hard. If you get the good guys coming in there, it could the 220s could absolutely be the class to win and get your FAL points. You might not qualify for the East vs. West, but you would then be in the lead with your 6 points for the win or whatever you placed. So I think that's got a ton of potential to be the 240s to be an absolute upsetter. You're probably going to get the biggest classes 240. You're going to get like 15, 20 guys minimum in the class. And everybody's going to be absolute animals and everybody wants the same thing. Yo, what's up, Chad Britton? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm getting messages. I'm getting a message every 15 minutes from people. So I think this could potentially be, massive. Some people are saying 300 entries, some people saying 200, whatever. Um, the parking, a lot of people have asked about the parking. We're going to accommodate the parking through a couple avenues. Never know how many people there are going to be, but we can pretty much overflow into the Sam's Club. I'm posting a map that kind of shows some parking areas that are acceptable in a little bit. Other than that, the weigh-ins, people have asked about early weigh-ins, weight allowance, stuff like that. There will be no weight allowance. It's a strict weigh-in. So everything that it says it is, if it's 240, it's 240. It's not going to be like at the Florida States where there was 3 pounds and we were a little bit lenient and all that. We just want to keep it very professional. And with this much money on the line, we got 5 figures going into the prizes. I mean, we probably got $25,000 in cash and prizes. It's we want it to be absolutely as legit as possible. So if the Olympics, they make you weigh in, we're going to make you weigh in here. Is it not 242? It is 242. Ultimately the East versus West weight, if you go to the finals, will be 240. Their weight classes and our weight classes don't align perfectly. So we're making the best of it. We're going with our weight classes, but keep that in mind that if you do go to Virginia into the final, it will be 240, just like our 176 class at the Virginia final will be, which is the East versus West final, will be 170. So bit of a kind of confusing situation when it comes to weight classes, but if you're ever in doubt, just go by the FAL classes. The other thing, the stuff on the flyers, man, nobody's reading the flyer. The flyer is really important. There's 2 separate tournaments. The amateur is in the morning. So I'm hoping a lot of these novices, a lot of new guys really read that. The pro is in the afternoon. Pretty much shouldn't plan to be there any longer than 5 hours if you're a pro or if you're an amateur. We've taken it from 8 hours, split it down into 2 5-hour blocks. It's going to be an overall better, smoother experience for everybody. I don't think that I do think starting at 10 a.m. for a travel tournament is a little bit early for the amateurs, but there's only so much that you can do unless you want to continue having to sit around and wait pro, amateur. So some people are coming to qualify or for the referee qualification seminar. You need to get there at 8 a.m. It starts at 8 a.m. We're locking the doors. They begin doing testing at 9 a.m. It's a whole production that I don't have nothing to do with. So get there early. You'll probably be locked out if you don't. The goal is to get like 10 guys certified as WAF referees. If that doesn't happen, it's okay, but we're going to go ahead and hire the top 6 placing refs for the season. We will also get a couple alternates if we're not, as replacements for when guys are sick or they're not going to be attending that event. But in order to make some money at the thing, the key, if you want to be a referee, is just pass the test. It's not super complicated, but that is going to be the key. Who else we got in this chat? I've heard that Max Tobin is making a return. He says he's coming in at 176. You guys better be on notice. The overall, I don't know if anybody's seen it announced last night. We will be putting out another physical post just to clarify. When you get there, it'll be said again and again and again, but third place is 2 points. Second place is 4 points. First place is 6 points. This is for the season. This is for the $10,000. This is for everything. You get 1 point just for coming and signing up. So when you sign up, you're automatically awarded a point. Depending how you place, you get either 2, 4, or 6 if you're the top 3. And then the overall is worth 5 points. So this overall is essentially it's a wild card that you're getting, and you wouldn't normally have access to these points. So even if you are behind on points, you could, in essence, get the maximum amount of points that you can get in one day for that class is 12 points. You could get 1 point for entering. You could get 6 for winning. That would put you at 7. And then you could get 5 more for winning the overall. And that is, so that's a big change. So you could be down 7, 8, 9 points in an event, and 1 win and overall completely sways the situation in your favor. The other thing is, God forbid you win 2 overalls early on or something like that. You're going to really, really shoot to the front. The other thing that it's been discussed, it's been asked a few times, this makes it interesting. You can buy into the overall still. Trent, you're on mute. Okay, so if you want more points and you think you still got a little something in your arm, you can sign up in the overall. Now, the trick to that is there's going to be 6 guys automatically in, and then you get probably 4 or 5 more sign up, and only one's getting the points. So it's a long shot, but in a game of $10,000, you might want to be the guy that makes a long shot a couple times. Probably going to pay off. Most people don't know for sure they're going to win the overall. Everybody's kind of entering on a gamble. So what up, Shelby? Shelby, did you get surgery on your arm yet? And did you get the package we sent you? I hope you got your merch yet. Right, Ralph Smith Arm Wrestling? He's doing something. All right, well, regardless, what up, Ralph? Dane, Chase he's still coming to my house talking about he's coming for you. So we'll see. I told him after the performance you had at the that big practice that we did, that was pretty scary. I could still beat you, but it was scary for Chase. If I was Chase, I would be nervous. Shelby, you did get your surgery. If you don't mind, tell us, what did they have to do? Did you have to get, I assume you got some plates in the humerus? Says, I'll be there Saturday to hang out with everybody. I got a front row seat for you, Shelby, if you do come, or when you come. Right the hand, Chris Zielinski, the one-arm bomber. What up, dog? You need to get a little FAL shirt for your pet raccoon. That's great publicity anytime, any day of the week. I'll accept that. 1 long plate and it's healing great, Shelby says. Yeah, what y'all think? Did you, Trent, you good? You ready to go yet?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Did you watch the Austin Yeagers Tim Bresnan match?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I want to ask you something. How you feel about this? Okay, not that. I already know how you feel about it. Do you believe it's possible? It should be possible to beat a man without pinning him once?
No, that should nowhere near ever happen in an arm wrestling match. You should not be able to win without a pin.
So you know what's scenario I like about this? Hear me out. I have an idea. So it's kind of like this. In soccer, if I'm playing like shit, but neither of us are scoring, it's just 0-0, right?
Yeah.
Well, when it's 0-0, we essentially go to a penalty kick. There should be a scenario where if you lose all 3 matches on fouls and you haven't pinned the guy, it goes to like a sudden death match. There should be nowhere a pin where there must be a pin. The next like sudden death is now running foul. You shouldn't. I get it, but it looked to me like Tim intimidated the refs. You're a referee. You tell me what you think about that, but I thought Austin Yeagers won that personally.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to somebody who keeps fouling, whether it's intentional, unintentional, something's got to be done there. I mean, somebody can only foul so many times before something's got to be done.
Well, hold on. The main argument with that match, though, is that he's pushing Tim off the back of the pad. Do you believe that should be allowed? You can't push someone off the back. It's your responsibility to stay on the pad.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I will call fouls on. If I see somebody sitting up and they can't fence they start shoving forward, I'm going to stop the match and foul the guy for intentional fouling.
You will. See, I don't think that. So I think that that's not possible. Here, let me explain why. In wrestling, it's not my job to keep you in bounds. In sumo, it's not my job to keep you in bounds. If you do not have the stability to keep yourself in bounds, you can't stay in the match.
No. But the thing about it, okay, say me and you arm wrestle. Say it's best out of 5. Sure. Say we're sitting up and say I get you to my side of the table, but I can't pin you. So you're riding the back of the pad with your lat locked in, just sitting there holding me. Yeah. So all I gotta do is shove you off the back twice.
No, if I'm floating, that's all you gotta do. So you believe in the call. I personally think that call is bullshit. Only because it opens a Pandora's box of people just pull their elbow back every time you put forward pressure. And you can't tell when people's hands are connected exactly who's making the pressure. And you have you have 2 responsibilities in this entire thing. What's your 2 jobs in this whole thing when you're an arm wrestler? Keep your hand on the peg, keep your elbow on the pad.
Yep.
You violated that when you came off the back. This is my opinion. My opinion.
No, I do agree with that.
When Mills Lane sets you up, he's setting you up and says defend yourself at all times, including from a forward shove. I'm allowed to pull backwards, but I'm not allowed to go forward. And if he goes to the back of the pad, now I'm not allowed to go forward at all. He's now negated half my moves. That's bullshit. It shouldn't be allowed. He's at the back of the fucking pad. That's his problem. If I don't want to get pushed out of bounds, I don't go near the edge. Yeah,
I agree. I do agree with that.
Me and you are on a little fucking island and there's lava everywhere. I'm not going near the edge because it's fucking dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So that's their problem for teetering there. That's my opinion, right? It means it's worthless, but you shouldn't. I don't know, dude. At Yeagers, it was like a couple of them. Maybe he did, but Tim also looked like he was kind of just fucking going backwards too.
Oh, he was definitely. Like I say, I don't think all of them were intentional by no means. I feel like Austin was going kind of for a press and just kind of accidentally came off the front a little bit here and there. Then of course Tim yanked off the back because he had so much back pressure. I feel like Austin did get robbed. I feel like something definitely should have been done. I mean, to me, there's no way you should be able to win a match and never even really get the guy to your side of the table, honestly. I mean, I didn't really even see where, to me, Austin was never in danger throughout the whole match.
Never. And the weird part is, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they called it a win. And then Tim snapped on the first match and then they started calling it that way.
See, that's where I differ from a lot of refs because, as you know, in the conversation you and I had earlier, I don't give a shit how big and intimidating you think you are. I'm going to call the match the way I want to call it, and you're going to have to deal with it.
It brings the bigger issue of just simply that is, can you be shoved off the back of the pad?
I mean, as a ref, it's my job to see if it was intentional or unintentional.
It's subjective. I don't like anything in the world that's subjective.
Well, there is a rule in WAF that's intentional fouling that talks about that, about showing.
Oh, I know. I don't agree with that rule personally, is what I'm saying. What I'm getting at. I'm not saying the rules don't exist. I just think that's one of the ones that's fucked up. Just like this, like I don't believe in slips going all. I believe all slips go to the strap because when people are like in a losing or intentional slip, all that shit is subjective. In a fucking match that's going like this and you're not sure really where, and the fact that these people were just making subjective calls before we had instant replay is fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like it just seems much easier to just put everybody in the strap.
Yeah, and there's been matches where I've literally been on top with my hand and literally completely pronated holding somebody, but I'm on their side of the table kind of down here, and they slip, and I got a loss, even though I was on top and had hand control. And then I've also had matches where I was on the bottom and got them and drug them back to my side of the table and got a loss because they had hand control. So that's
that's a weird. Some of these I dealt with this. I dealt with that at Mayhem. I beat somebody in a flop, and when I pinned him, we touched my pad, and it was Gavin, and his hand was on top.
Mm-hmm.
So they call a loss on me. And I'm like, what do you mean? I just pressed him to my pad. And he's like, we didn't have hand control. And this is the ref, obviously, not knowing what was happening. Chris Thomas is he was probably just a couple Budweisers in that day. No real harm, but he in his mind, you had to have hand control to win them, you had to be on top. That doesn't matter one bit, actually. It's just whose side of the table are you on? You can pin a guy on top, on the bottom, wherever. It's just whose side are you on?
Well, think about it. When you flop or press somebody, nine times out of 10, your wrist technically touches the pad first, but yet you won because you pressed on your side of the table, but your hand is technically.
Well, it's his hand that has to touch. It's not your wrist that has to touch. It's his in a flop. But yeah, exactly. That was my argument. I was like, how does Jerry win a match if you have to have hand control?
That's one of the ones it's the old school rules versus the new school. And that's kind of where it's kind of gotten mixed up over the years. From the people that I've talked to and the things that I've seen and rest that I've talked to that have been in it since the 80s, it's old school and new school, and they're still kind of clashing. Nobody's really sat down and said, this is the rules we're going by. Zloty, WAL, all them, everybody has their own set of rules.
Well, there's not a unified rules yet.
No.
Dane says, I would say that rule only makes sense if you have video replay. The pushing off the back, in my opinion, never makes sense to call that on somebody for an intentional shove. Listen, so before we start, they should explain to me you're not allowed to hit forward.
Well, here's my thing. So in your opinion, what would you do? Say I'm in a match, I shove forward, my elbow comes off, and his elbow comes off at the same time. What would you do?
This happened to me when I pulled Andre at the Travis Bajan thing. I had it. I'm on the back of the pad. Andre shoves forward in his wedge and knocks me off the back of the pad.
Yep. I'm saying if say me and George are pulling and we're locked up and I go forward, but I go forward too far and my elbow sits off the front and his is off the back at the same time and you were reffing, what would you call?
I would just call an offsetting fouls.
Okay. I agree with that. That's what they done to East versus West. And I agree with that.
I would call offsetting fouls for that scenario. If you came off the back and I seen him shove forward and he didn't though, that seems a fair move. It's like Mortal Kombat. He just knocked you off the stage, bro.
Yeah.
Like I can knock you out of the ring if I want in boxing. It's like telling me that if I hit you through the rope, suddenly I lose. Oh
yeah. I completely agree with that.
What the fuck? Stay in the ring, bro.
But I mean, there is, and that's one of the ones that you'll never be right, you'll never be wrong when it comes to that because, I may see it one way, you may see it another. So I mean, that's kind of one of the ones you just kind of got to go by the rules and run with it. Nobody's ever going to agree on all the rules.
This is my problem is I wonder if Austin and Tim understood that this was going to happen and had this figured out. Probably not. It looked like that had not been discussed, and suddenly Tim kind of enforced this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And which is fine. That's what you do if you're the more dominant person, I guess. Tim took the win somehow. That's mind-blowing. And I like Tim Bresnan. He seems like he could be part of my family, but
I've just never, and I have nothing against Tim. I feel like he may have whined a little too much, and he didn't.
You can tell Tim's a scary guy. We're all like, I got nothing against Tim.
No, I mean, I would have definitely called the match differently, whether I was reffing him or anybody else. But
yeah,
rules are rules, matches are matches, and you just got to kind of take your wins and your losses and roll with it, I guess, when it comes to that kind of stuff. I mean, we may run into that some at one point. It's like me. I personally hate if you're in a losing position and you're about to get pinned and you pick your elbow up for 3 seconds. I hate that. If it was up to me, I would fight everybody.
Listen, that adds layers and layers of depth to arm wrestling. That takes arm wrestling from being just chess or checkers to chess. Then it becomes a pure fucking mind game. And of course, this is what I know.
I still hate it.
I know you want it to be a pure strength contest. I'm not strong enough for that shit. I was built.
I'm like, you know what? If you're losing and you ain't strong enough, let the guy beat you and come back.
Hold on. But then what about when he wins the restart? Is he then strong enough? Or everything he does the rest of his life after that first foul is negligible?
No, he's a lot more technical than the other guy. He figures out where that guy's going. He just adjusts and comes back and wins.
So he's smarter.
He's smarter. I feel like he's smart
guy to win.
Yeah.
As smart as you are, don't do that to us.
I'm not smart arm wrestler at all. I am the worst arm wrestler in Florida. I am stronger, but I am the dumbest arm wrestler there is.
Well, I'm the weakest, so I need every advantage, restart, slip, strap, foul that I can get.
You know what? And that's why we have rules. And I'm going to go by the rules no matter what, whether I agree with them or not. It just, when you have them guys in a grinder and they're grinding out for 45 seconds to a minute and it's almost done and that guy picks his elbow up at the last time, you're like, damn, I was waiting for the pin. Just kind of aggravates you.
Well, the pin you're waiting for is coming.
Oh, I know.
We just got a fucking round 2.
Oh, I know. This is
so I think that adds, for me, that adds a lot of layers to the arm wrestling. Now it's became a real fucking mind game battle, like war of attrition. I like to go in the deep. I want to be in match number fucking 5 and we're both bleeding and I've elbow fouled 74 times on the way here.
That you do.
But I also feel like I get a little better as it gets on and on. So a lot of these guys just fade. If I was hot out the gate, I would probably prefer it the other way. Not gonna lie. Everybody prefers what benefits them anyways. Shelby said, how do I get a hold of you, Brandon, to ask about doing the referee class? Yeah, so it's not too late. We have 2 more spots of the 16. You need to be there at 8 a.m. It's free. The FAL is paid. Dude, they are at this TAL at Texas Arm Wrestling. Sean Hancock in Texas are doing some amateur thing. They're charging $40 for this class, which I get it. It's costing us $500 to make this happen. It's not the end of the world, but we're offering this for free. Anybody that wants to come on down, they want to get ref certified, the FAL is going to pay for you to be certified. Not just at FAL, anywhere you go the rest of your life. You will be a certified ref. You can add that to your resume, your credentials. You'll probably be getting paid to go places when they want legit tournaments. You'll be on armrefs.com, showing, as the list of certified refs, whether it be junior, senior, master level. All of those are possible. Master is extremely hard to obtain, but we are testing for everything here. It's free. So Shelby, you need to be there at 8 a.m. They're going to lock that door at about 8:15. The testing itself starts at 9. So from 8 to 9 is all the studying is going to teach you about everything. And then they start real world testing. So yes, you have, if you get there, there's no problem getting you in. That applies to anybody else. If you would like to be a part of it, it's not open to the public other than RSVP. So shoot me a message. I got 1 more spot after Shelby. We do have the cutoff at 16 just because this guy's not, we have to start the tournament. So essentially we're going to be testing during the beginning of the tournament too, a few little things. So we kind of maxed out our time with that. It takes about 20 minutes per person. When you imagine times 16, you got a good bit. So, yes, Mortal Kombat rules do apply, Shelby. If I knock you off the goddamn stage, you're out. That's fair enough. Tyler Horos says, aloha. What's up, dog? Shelby, where at? It's at the venue at Pro Gear Gym. Address on the flyer, the same place you were going anyways. You just got to get there at 8 o'clock. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. is the referee seminar. Yes, Ralph, before the tournament Saturday. Thank you for that. Michael Todd spent 25 minutes arguing for his replay. I have a theory about Michael Todd. We'll try to get Michael Todd on here. I have a theory that the longer his beard gets, the more of his horsepower it takes away. And you guys might not believe that, but just go back and look in back in the day when he was really banging with Saplinkov, and he beat Saplinkov once. I believe so at the Arnold or somewhere. Man, when he was pulling everybody, he just had a little beard. So I think Michael Todd needs to cut that witchcraft off his face and bring back the monster. But Michael Todd, what's that?
I said, real quick. So, did you see the YouTube video of Larry Wheels and all the influencers arm wrestling? All these young influencers?
No.
So I don't know if you follow them. I watch some of their videos, and you won't know who these guys are. Some people watching may, but like Alex Eubank, Jesse James. Actually, Jesse James West flew out to Canada and pulled with Devin Larrett. But there's these two twins I think they're from Michigan. They're called the Trend Twins, like powerlifting. They're called the Trend Twins.
Are they jacked?
They're jacked, like 535 bench presses. Like they're like 5'6", 5'7", 220 pounds, like little jack dudes. And
sounds like Patrick Downs.
And they're straight meatheads. And they're cool as shit. They're like them, Alex Eubank, which is he's got over, I think, almost 1 million followers on YouTube. Jesse James West has almost 2 million followers. Well, they just posted all these YouTube videos of them arm wrestling with Devin Larrett and Larry Wheels and all this stuff. And, it got me thinking, people like that, even though they're, YouTube influencers are all about aesthetics and, things like that and promoting their brand, it's still they're getting, 400, 500,000 views per video. So I mean, it's going to be pretty big for promoting arm wrestling and things like that. So I thought that was kind of cool that they all put videos of them arm wrestling with Larry Wheels and Devin Larrett and all that cool stuff. And I think we lost Brandon. He didn't pay his Wi-Fi bill. He's probably hacking the neighbors. And we lost him. All right, y'all shoot me some questions and I'll answer them until we get Brandon back. Sterling, I agree. I watched one of Alex's videos the other day, and him and that Jesse James West kid were both talking about trying to get into it a little bit more. I think the Trend Twins were talking about doing it too. So, I mean, with them having the following that they have, I really feel like it's going to promote at least younger age kids, late teens, early 20s. It's going to promote them to maybe get into it and try it and dabble in a little bit and help out. So we shall see how that goes. Yeah, I know, Chris, we lost him. Tyler, that really depends. Rule of thumb is in Florida, once you win an amateur tournament, they say you can pull pro. Me personally, I placed third in my first amateur tournament, third in my second in my third, and then Artem told me to either quit arm wrestling and get stronger or pull pros. I started pulling pros, and I haven't went back since. So I mean, it really depends on, what you want to do and how you want to do it. I feel, if you're in it for 6-8 months to a year and you're winning amateur classes or you're placing top 3 at least at some big classes, hey, jump in a pro class and see how you do. Sterling said, who is winning the 12-man round robin? Are you talking about the one in Tennessee coming up? What's up, Carl? If you're talking about the one in Tennessee, I really didn't see who all was in it. I know Cody Wood's in it, Hunter Noss in it, Kevin Palco. Really, I mean, I think Roman's going to be there. I can't say who's going to win it, I feel like top 3 would probably be a toss-up just by the guys that I know that are going to be there. Would probably have to be Roman, Kevin, and Hunter if I had to guess. Now Cody Wood is looking super strong. He posted a picture the other day at practice, and I swear his forearms like they're 18 inches. And I know he's doing all these one-arm pull-ups and all that stuff. So, you know, he's not far behind for sure. I have seen him give Hunter a little bit of problems here and there. So, you know, really anybody. I know the guy putting it on, I think his name's Larry or whatever his name is. I know he's super, super quick on the go. The kid they call Lightning from Tennessee. I know I've seen some of his videos, and he's got one hell of a hit. I feel like Hunter could probably stop that. Like Kevin could stop it. Roman could stop it. I mean, definitely Roman's definitely the favorite, and just because he is number 1 at 154. But we'll have to see how that one goes. Chris, what is the best style to master? Wherever you're the strongest. If you're a badass top roller, master being a top roller. If you're a badass hooker, hook. If you can press like Carl Stanley, press like Carl Stanley. I mean, that depends on everybody is different. I try to dabble in all of it just because I'm good at nothing. So I try to be mediocre at everything. But you know, if you're good at just flat wrist side pressure. I mean, hell, it works for a lot of people. But whatever you feel more comfortable, wherever you feel like you're the strongest, wherever you feel like you're the best out and can get the most wins, make that your key to it. And then if you need to go somewhere else, I say definitely still training hooks, training presses, training top rolls. And no matter what you do, have an arsenal, but have your main weapon at top notch 24/7. Ralph, yes, the qualifier is definitely going to be crazy. Chris, I want to do pros, but I don't know if a qualifier is that time. I mean, hell, why not? I mean, you'll get as strong as you are, from what I have felt, you're going to be able to pull some badass dudes. So, I mean, it'd be good experience regardless. I mean, you know, don't take this the wrong way, but unless you're a trophy chaser and, you know, you only want to pull if you're guaranteed to win, you know, pull amateur. But if you want to really go and see what you got, hell, pull pros. Best weight cut advice, dude, I am not the guy to answer that. I've only done one cut, and I cut from 190 to 176. And it took me about 8 weeks, and it was pretty much chicken and rice 3-4 times a day. And it worked for me. About a gallon and a half of water. And now I'm getting fat again. I'm back up to 180. So not the best guy for nutrition questions. Shelby, craziest weight class this Saturday, in your opinion? 198s and was it 200? 200s? I'm trying to think of the qualifiers. You got 176, 200, and then 242. I'm going to say 242 and probably 198s. It's going to be kind of a mix up between them two just because I know some of the guys that are coming are going to be there. And I think them two classes are going to definitely be stacked. I feel like 176 could possibly be a really stacked class, depending on who shows up. If it's just us Florida guys, then, you know, we'll have to see how that goes. But if it's just us Florida guys, I'll have to say George is definitely the favorite to win that one, especially at 176. Him and probably David are probably going to be your two top guys at 170, unless somebody just shows up and, you know, that waxes everybody's ass. But George is definitely the favorite at 176. I appreciate it, Ralph. Yeah, I wish I wasn't bulking, but I'm still sitting around. I think I was 179 this morning, and when I got home from work, I was 177. But I'm trying to stay around 174, 175. Y'all, if Brandon don't come back on here in a couple minutes, I'm going to jump off here. But y'all got a couple more questions, I'll answer them before I go. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I missed. Devin, definitely. I will say, I don't think, to me, this is my opinion on Devin. I don't feel like Devin is the best straight up arm wrestler, strength wise. I feel like he is a technical genius. But I think he is the ultimate guy at mind games. I feel like he sits there and talks and does things with his hand, and he just makes everybody second guess themselves. I mean, he's definitely strong. I've seen some of the stuff that he does, and he's definitely a strong guy. But to me, he is probably one of the most technical arm wrestlers ever to live. And I really feel like he can get in anybody's head, no matter what, and pretty much make them lose themselves. So, yeah, I'm about to go with Devin on that one. I mean, Devin, I'm going to say Devin probably 3-1. I'm going to say the guy may get a one pin on him, maybe. But, yeah, I'm going to say Devin probably 3-0, 3-1, maybe. Ralph, I really don't change my workouts other than I go a little bit lighter. Like today, I'm training 2 boys at the gym that kind of wanted to get a little bit stronger and learn my routine. So today I did go really heavy on chest. Went 315 on the bench for a 1 rep. Did hundreds on flat bench dumbbells for like 7 or 8 reps. And I done some volume work. I typically, if I got a big tournament coming up, usually the week of, I'll work out like Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. But I just kind of kindle it down, do a lot of volume work, push some blood around, try to get some blood in anywhere that's kind of sore. I typically don't do any arm wrestling training that week, which I mean, as y'all know, I hardly ever do arm wrestling training. But now that I'm back to doing it, I don't do anything the week of when it comes to arm wrestling. If I do, it is very light bands. I'll go in the gym, put them on a pole, and just kind of sit there and just kind of go through the movements just to keep everything where it doesn't lock up or get blocky. Hold on, Daniel. I will send it to you. Give me 1 second, Danny boy. All right, Daniel, you should be getting it. Ralph, that's probably the best thing. Tomorrow, I am going to hit some back and biceps, but it's going to be somewhat light. I'm a gym rat. Y'all know that. I mean, I'm in the gym 6-7 days a week. As long as Ashley don't make plans for us to go anywhere or do anything. But we're typically in the gym at least 6 days a week. So, I mean, I don't technically get sore. I just stay, I guess you could say, pumped up. That's probably why I get blown up at tournaments so easy and get my ass kicked.
What's up, son?
What's up, man? I don't know what happened to Brandon. He got kicked off. I guess the neighbor found out he was stealing her Wi-Fi and they kicked him off.
Yep, possibility.
So how you feeling? Tell the guys how you're feeling on here since you're coming Saturday.
You know me. I always feel good.
Sitting on the couch eating Swiss rolls?
Yeah. No, I'll be fine. I'm feeling good. Feeling strong.
Tell you what, Carl moved that 405 around on the bench the other day with ease. Old boy getting strong.
Oh yeah.
My boy Trent kept it alive.
Yeah, you got me for a few more minutes, and I got to cook dinner, so we just got back.
I had a power outage, and I forgot to pay my bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured as much.
I figured you were still the neighbor's Wi-Fi, and they found out.
That's probably what happened. The whole fucking place went black. And at the same time, my dog pulled the fucking cord out the router. So I feel like the dog shorted out the whole house. But
don't blame it on the dog.
Yeah. Hey, you hyped, Dan? You showing up?
Yeah.
You better show up and show out, son.
I'm excited, man. Coming off the couch and arm wrestling was it was fun, just to see what I could do. But now that I've been pulling and training, obviously not many months back, but I feel good. Everything's coming back. You know, when I went and arm wrestled, you know, off the couch, nothing was locked. Like I felt like everything was sloppy. You know, now I'm able to control, kind of like, best way I can explain it is, you know, when you get in the gym at first, you're using them, you know, dumbbells to do, you know, bench pressing, and the control is just kind of wobbling. It takes a little bit.
Stabilization.
Huh?
The stabilization ain't there.
Yeah. So I've got that back. Like I feel I'm back solid, dead center. So yeah, it should be.
Let me ask you something. Do you feel that your portion of the $10,000 is already a lock? Keep going. I want to know the truth.
No, I mean
The
I
left
really
220, is that money already secured?
220.
What are you pulling?
I'm not pulling 220 because it doesn't qualify. So
Well, but for the season, you'll probably pull the rest of them 220, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll pull 220. But I'll be next or this weekend.
Of course, because you're trying to go to East versus West. I get it, and that's going to be a lot of people's situation. So it's not atypical.
As far as 220,
what do you weigh?
I mean,
let's talk about your weight.
Well, right now I'm like 231.
When you ask someone how much they weigh, and the first word they say is well.
Well, I say well because I've been sitting at around 222, 223. But when I
got on the scale,
I ain't never took creatine before, and I jumped on it now, and I've been drinking a lot of water, and so we'll see. And I've been eating like I was eating kind of good now. I mean, I still eat good, man. I've been drinking every day. I'll have 2 or 3 cartons of egg whites, and I drink it raw.
What are you, Rocky Balboa? What the fuck's wrong with you?
No,
You're salmonella, motherfucker.
Hey, listen, it is the easiest, fastest, non-bloatinous way to get protein in your body. I can drink it in 8 seconds and walk on about my business.
That.
Okay. Do you want to do a shirtless pose to show us what the egg whites are doing for a man, or
no?
Are the arms getting jacked? What's up?
Hey, they're getting there. It's gonna take me a little time, but
you know, Dan, it's sad to say. Listen, the turnover rate in arm wrestling is so fast right now. Meaning that, like, from when the guy starts to when he disappears is probably 3 years at this point, you know. And when you started arm wrestling, it was probably 5 years. You've been arm wrestling for 18 years.
Since 05.
18 years.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of guys that come here that don't know who you are.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you. They don't know about 2012 Daniel Worley.
Yeah.
They don't, they don't know about none of this. So, and there's people that I seen people at Florida States asking Chris Chandler if he arm wrestles.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? So, we're in a whole new world. We're relics compared to these. I mean, a 4-year guy in is an old guy in arm wrestling now. The amount of you were at Florida State's, right? You busted Andre.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that tournament had almost none of the hardcore supporters, which everyone was just busy. It's Christmas season, whatever. But the fucking class, that tournament was huge because the amateur class were 20 people deep, 10 people deep. I mean, and I don't know if it's East versus West or Larry Wheels, but it's drawing a lot of new people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, a part of that too makes me excited to just see. You know how it was. We were, see you next couple months at the next one. See what you got on that one. You know what I mean? It had like a selective few that you couldn't wait to pull again. But so when you get a bunch of new names and people posting on there, they're going to be in a class. And I mean, I'm excited. I don't pull the 242 class either. So,
but here's the thing, and you pull left only, or left and right?
Left and right.
Okay. You got a chance. I mean, I don't think that you lose most of you either get completely overwhelmed or you win. So you'll probably get, you would probably win 220s left hand guaranteed. You would probably do top 5. It's hard to say because there could be 4 badass guys and only one of them makes it because of brackets,
Yeah.
But at 242, I think you still are going to be top 2, top 3 left-handed.
I think so.
I don't know how your right is feeling. I'm just judging off how good your left was. If your right suddenly came along, you might be in the,
Yeah, my right's better. My right's better than it's ever been right now. So,
Okay.
And I know how to arm wrestle, so that'll probably take me further than my power should have went.
Can I ask you a theoretical situation?
What's up?
All right. Let's pretend the version of you right now pulls the version that pulled Chance Shaw in that super match. Do you have enough to beat the Chance that day with how you are right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you would have been in this shape, you could have stopped this fucking monster that became Chance Tugboat.
Yeah.
He's now pulling Richard Lupke and all. This is all your fault. I was talking to him the other day. I said the moment you took off was when you beat Daniel Worley somehow. I said that happened and your life changed. I was like, it's like red panty night. We pulling Richard Lupke. I was like, there's a lot of people between Lupke and Worley, huh? He's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, huh? Like, yeah, you think that's a little weird of a path? But yeah, it's your fault. You didn't know you were the gatekeeper to greatness, and you dropped the fucking ball. You're supposed to stop that kid dead in his tracks.
Yeah, I was.
We're gonna hear about him for 20 years now.
Yeah, probably longer than that. Shit.
Oh, I know. He's only like 26 or something, crushing it. How about Artem, bro? Artem crushed rockers.
What the hell? He's solid, man.
Solid, bro.
I keep watching. I keep watching Artem, and I kept making excuses in my brain. Because I was saying how he's like, he is doing this shit. Like he did that to, hell, damn near everybody. But Jordan Seal, he did it to Chris Chandler left, just wow, doing that. I mean, it's a weird power. And I was sitting there thinking, like, man, he can't have that much power like this. But I mean, he does.
He just got a nice second hit.
Yeah, nice lat-driven pronation twist that just is really apparently hard to deal with.
Yeah, I think Artem's biggest advantage is his thumb. His thumb is like twice the length of a regular thumb.
Yeah,
it's fucking insane, bro. His thumb is longer than my middle finger. His longest finger is his thumb. I'm like, were you made for arm wrestling? He's blown up. He's 20% stronger.
Yeah, he is.
Lindsay must be cooking good. That motherfucker must be.
Yeah, when I went over to his house a few nights ago, and it was like, I don't know what time it was. It was 8, 9. I don't know, somewhere later on. I don't remember exactly what time, but she's just now getting out the frying pan, son, cooking sausage. And there's lamb where Artem was eating. There's lamb, like bones and shit on the counter.
Wow. I remember when he couldn't speak English and couldn't afford a Mountain Dew. What a time to be alive.
Oh, is Trent here? Is he gone? It's just froze or something.
He's getting whipped right now he's gonna be screaming like, ah.
I just got a frozen thing of him down there.
No, he's cooking me dinner.
I'm cooking dinner, cooking steaks.
All right.
Trent, he's like a damn Jack in the Box.
What did you tell me on the last episode, Trent? Trent told me you curl an 85-pound dumbbell, Worley.
No, I said my max 1 rep max was 80-pound hammer curl. and I haven't done that in probably 8-9 months.
I
Let's not get
tested-
twisted.
hold on, I
I'm
wanna
not
speak
sitting
to
there doing
this.
this right here with them.
I went out and tested this after we had that conversation. Everybody told me I should be able to curl at least 80.
You couldn't.
No, well, I was able to get 65 for about 5 reps. Nice
Then
and
you can do 80
decent.
for one.
Huh?
If
That
you
was
do
what-
65 for 5 reps, you can do 80 for 1 rep.
Well, I had both in my hand at the same time, alternating, but I wasn't being a madman about it. I'm on now that I felt 65s in there. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the 80 is impossible for a 165, 176er.
No, there's a big difference between 65 and 85, though.
Woo!
Standard rep.
Hey, I mean, I hit 315 on a bench today.
I'm not saying, hey, you know what? It's possible. I seen Cole Casper benching like that too, so I believe it. Dan, what are you hammer curling?
I have no clue.
Just for a guess.
I ain't got that. Oh, I mean,
Or, well, what did you hammer curl left-handed in your prime?
well, when me and Noel were in there, I mean, we were repping, but we never did standing. We always did the bench. It was at a slant, and we put our arm over it.
Yeah, no, not that one, just standing.
I mean, right now I could probably when I just got back in the gym and I walked over there and grabbed 65s and I was able to do 2 sets of 10
Okay.
each arm. Just getting back into it. But I don't know what my max would be right now. My hammer is probably it is stronger than a regular curl for me. It always has been.
Mine too.
I've always had, the strength to do this.
I tell people I seen Chance's dad walk over and grab a 100-pound dumbbell off the rack, just relaxing. Stand up, curl it again, put it down. He's like, "What you think of that?"
You know who did that in front of me after we trained was Evo.
Yeah, I think you told me about that.
Evo,
huh?
I had an 85-pound dumbbell, and we arm wrestled for like 2 hours. He stood straight up and grabbed it, picked it up, and curled that bitch like 3 times after training.
Madman. He's gone, dude. That guy was a threat.
Yeah.
Carl said I did 75s for 10 rep pronation hammer curls. Okay. So Trent's 80 is looking more realistic. I think that's a cool thing we should do. What the coolest thing we ever did.
Hey, ask Daniel how strong I am.
I know you're strong.
You brought me last Friday.
I know you're strong. Calm, sit down. I know. We had a gear scale tied to the squat rack at the First Orlando Barbell Gym. Look at Trent flexing in the back. What the fuck's wrong with you? And we were hooked it up to like a sleeve like this to just pull on it, like in a hook. And it was pretty dope. You could absolutely see who was stronger. It was clear as day. Like you could see, I think I pulled on it. It was like 70 pounds or 80, some shit like that, like 100. And Pat pulled, it was like $150. Chandler maxed that bitch out at like 180 pounds. But you can see, the direct relation between a dude that would beat you and his poundage versus yours.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have little tangibles like that. It wouldn't be a bad idea at this tournament if we had a little station where people were checking their up pressure, checking their,
Yeah.
Because that's one of the coolest things about the expos, right? Is when they have like who can curl the 45-pound dumbbell the most, or who can bench their body weight the most, and they got the fucking whiteboard and they're going around. So might be worth doing after they arm wrestle something. Igor Mazarenko's got shit set up like that where it's nothing but like stations to check your pronation and check. Have you ever seen that room they have?
No, I hadn't seen that.
Artem said he's coming to the qualifier. He's going. He wants the East versus West.
Ingen pretty much told him to go win. Show me what's up. So Artem's locked in. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I think everybody's going.
what do you mean?
I think everybody's going to the qualifier. I don't think this is an opportunity that anyone passes up. I feel conflicted because I want to pull in it. I know I'm actually, I can take second tops two in anywhere. I feel like I can't win the bitch, but I can somehow get to the finals.
You should pull in it. I mean, why not?
See, man, this is the thing yeah, but when it's FAL's biggest tournament ever, and if there's time, if it's organized enough and it's possible to pop in, I might like to spice it up, but don't count on it.
Here's the thing you got to remember, Brandon. What you talked about earlier. This is a league for arm wrestlers by arm wrestlers. You're an arm wrestler first. Yeah, you're the promoter, you're the head guy, but you're still an arm wrestler. You still gotta participate. You can't just sit on the sideline.
Is there anybody that arm wrestles that doesn't want to win that bitch or at least win the qualifier?
Dude, I would love to go in there at 176 and smoke everybody.
Oh, you imagine we come over with like 6 guys, we all head to the Virginia final. 3 of us move on. Artem, you, fucking Trent, everyone lights it up. Now we're watching the pay-per-view back here, have a big Florida party practice. You know how it is.
So is the finals going to be pay-per-view?
Oh, that's a great question.
I don't think so.
Well,
I haven't seen anything about it.
It would people would pay it. People would
buy it.
I'm not
so I might go to watch it.
Travis Bajent is running the finals.
He would probably definitely be interested.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be. I believe that I wonder what I wanted Ingen to live stream on the East vs. West channel our event. But now Sandras and Devin are pulling at the same time as the tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll buy that and we can stream that at the venue. And watch that during the tournament. That would be pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll try to do.
And that
would be a great idea. We'll have that playing in the background.
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna buy it regardless. I don't even care if I wash it on my shit, but I just want to support it.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. That's what I was saying the other night is, as much if you've seen a lot of cool shit come and go. The coolest thing I seen when I started in Florida was Jesse Gonzalez's stuff.
Yeah.
It was mega, man. It looked like Arm Wars, and this shit goes away if people don't support it.
Yeah.
It's easy to like something and not actually support it. And then you're like, oh, where'd that go? Oh, I can't go to that no more. I didn't fucking support, so it's definitely one of these things where people should come out and support. You're supporting East vs. West. You're supporting FAL. And the truth is I'll be real. I'm very transparent with those. We paid a lot of money to get this to make this qualifier happen. This is not something where it's like, hey, would you guys like to do? No. This costs a lot of bread. And we did that because we want fucking Florida guys on that pay-per-view. So, we're going to send a ton of dudes to the finals. I mean, barring the out-of-state guys that may slide in there, however. But, we're going to be over, 8 guys on the right, 8 guys on the left, the girls. Ladies, it's 154 and over. There's top 2 each spots go into the final 2.
Yeah. Speaking of tournaments, next year you only have January open.
Yeah. Well, we don't have next year's schedule out per se.
Because I got a buddy of mine that is throwing a huge barbecue.
Well, this brings a good topic real quick. How does somebody host a tournament if FAL's already got a lot of dates, right?
Yeah.
Or how do you do that without stepping on our toes? What's the polite way to do that? How do you get our support?
Yeah, I was about to say it's hard not to step on your toes if you got every month of the year.
Yeah, well, the key is you just integrate with us. You know, if somebody wants to throw a little local tournament at their little bar or their practice house or whatever, we're going to send them some FAL shirts for the prizes.
Yeah.
I'll send you a banner and pay for the awards for your shit just so it looks good and has our shit, you know. So it's not here to outstay. We intend to put out a product that's not, no one's really going to be able to compete with it. It's going to be so big and badass and so elaborate. I mean, we got like 30 G's up in this. It's a wait till you get there and see. We're deep into this shit, dude. Everything from clothing to banners to lighting to everything, the prize, we got $10,000 just in medals coming. So you guys, we're going to announce the custom medals and all this, but the way somebody does it is get with us. We, the 2024 season could include anything. It could absolutely include anything from, Neil Pickup doing a tournament down here in Arm Wars to Daniel Worley having his own one, just like Mayhem. So the idea was that was to take away all the competition. Us competing does nothing. Let's say Chuck could do 100 entries, 120 entries on his own, right? Let's say I could do 130. When we compete, we're fighting for this same it's this crab mentality, pulling each other down, suddenly when FAL brings 200 entries and rather than tell FAL being like, don't go to Mayhem, blah, blah, no, we just put our FAL on him. Hey, Chuck's part of the Florida Arm Wrestling League. Now Chuck pulls in 240 entries.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily have 11 events next year. We don't have all that, but the type of thing you're talking about, we should probably have 6 of those, like a big practice and a half serious tournament, a big barbecue. You didn't go to the thing they just had. It was hosted in Ocala. You remember the old battle at the beach we used to do?
Yeah.
It was just like that. And there's no reason you can't put that at a bar and put a fucking tournament during it too. So,
yeah. Well, he was wanting to start back up the Worley Classic, and he's doing barbecue, cornhole, and he wants me to run my event there. And the way he presented it, he was just like, you want it in St. Johns County or you want it in the Palaca? And I said, I'd rather St. Johns County. And, he said, well, I can get more sponsors in Palaca. I said, well, then let's go to Palaca. I know that it was February this year or gonna be February. I don't know what I'll have to talk with him on all that shit. But
yes. So here's the thing is I support any of these things, especially every event in Florida compared to ours is probably going to be smaller, right? It's not really going to be like some huge thing where they might get that many entries, but we're so elaborate that I support anything that's in Florida, it just comes down to booking. We have this old crab mentality, me and you do, where it's like you can only have one event every 4.5. Nah, that's bullshit, dude. I can go to a fucking disc golf tournament every single Saturday in Florida. I can go to a jiu-jitsu tournament, 6 of them in Florida. I can go to one every single Saturday in Orlando. So if the market bears it, more arm wrestling is totally needed. There's no need to say we can't slide an event in here, slide another here. And this is also a test run, man. So maybe 11 events is not the key to success. Maybe, it starts to wane and we see that. But I personally think Florida could hold 20 events. I think if these guys are like me, you're hooked on arm wrestling like it's a fucking drug and you just love to do it on Saturdays. Your whole life is about arm wrestling. I know you have kids and a wife or a girlfriend, whatever, and all this, but your identity is as an arm wrestler. So if you're going to tell me you ain't got 15 to 20 weekends that you'd love to do this, I do. If I like riding jet skis, I got 15 to 20 weekends. I got time to do it. So back in this old thing, we only got 6 Saturdays a year. Like, fuck that. That's some old school mentality. I don't believe in none of that shit, bro. That's why we put this out here. Everybody told me more than 6 was retarded, this, that. I want to arm wrestle every single month. I do personally. So, I think everyone else does. When you miss a tournament back in the day, it sucked, right? Might be 2 more months till the next one. Now you've been 4 months without a competition.
Yeah, that would be the upscale of things. Me, I'm more of a, I want, month and a half, 2 months to work on something that I feel like and then come back.
So just skip an event, because eventually, let's be honest. Let's always take things to an extreme to prove the point. Let's pretend in the most extreme scenario, there's a tournament every single week. You're going to be skipping some, right? Arm wrestling can't arm wrestle. You can't arm wrestle every single week on the elbow. You can do every 2 weeks. So that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen, dude. People skipping the tournament here and there. But the best thing is when you do skip the tournament, it's only 2-3 weeks, 30 days max away from the next one.
Yeah.
You're not having to wait and suddenly you fell out of shape, because as well as I do, you can only stay primed up and peaked for a month or so, in that real true good shape, 2 months max, and then something changes.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on that damn ranking system that I was talking about, man.
Which one?
The top 5.
Talk about it here. Let's hear it.
The top 5 can only lose their position in super match format.
Okay. Does the super matches have to, I love hearing format type things. Does the super matches have to go in numerical order? Does four have to pull 3?
No.
Pull number 1.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay. So number 5 calls out number 1 right now. What's the stipulation before he loses his spot?
Well, unfortunately, it'd probably have to be like it is now, a year of inactivity. Inactivity, that's what it is. Oh, I beat Listen, I beat Dickie and held the number 1 spot in North, and I quit after I beat Dickie. I cold turkey, no more nothing. Went home, put the tables in the shed. They got shit stacked on top of it, and nobody could take my position. I had Burrito send me a message like a month before my 1 year mark and was like, jokingly, saying something like, you better not pull. And if you do, you better let me know where you're going so I can come there. Because he didn't want somebody else to beat me, and you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. And he's sitting at number 2, but he just couldn't do nothing.
Well, what I'm asking is what incentivizes. Okay, so what you have to have an incentive to force the match. So is it like he calls you out, and if the match doesn't happen within 60 days, you lose your spot? Like, where's the incentive for the guy ahead of you to take the match?
Well, I mean, I was here.
Number 1 guy not just stay there forever, or just not.
Yeah, well, obviously, like I said, 1 year of inactivity, you lose it. But you shouldn't do that unless you have.
No. I know, but you're missing. My point is, what I'm asking is, okay, let's pretend you're number 5 and I'm number 4, right? Yeah. And you call me out. What makes me? Why do I have to take the match? Why can't I just stay at 4 for a whole year?
Well, you don't have to. I mean, I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't understand, because I would take the match. If I'm number 4, you're number 5.
That's the system that needs to happen. Is your system is good, where only the top 5 can move through super matches. But the problem is, if that's the only way that happens, and no one's accepting a fucking super match, nothing's happening in the top 5.
Well, somebody put on there that the person who's calling out has to travel to them.
Okay, I like that. That's a good part of it.
So if you're calling out, you do the traveling.
You bring the fight to him in his yard.
Yep.
Okay.
So I like that. I do like that idea. And so if I'm calling you out, you're number 3, I'm number 5. I have to come to Orlando to the next event for the super match to try and take the spot.
So then there needs to be also a time constraint.
Well, and that could be it. I mean, we could come up with something, but I absolutely believe. And the thing about it is, Brandon, is it'll make people want to be in the top 5. Why? for one, you're top 5. For two, you're tournament protected. So when you're 6 and up, you can lose your spot in a tournament. Bad draw, war, whatever. But when you're top 5, you can't. You can pull a tournament and go 2 and out, and you can still stay number 3.
Okay, I like the tournament protected. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah,
that concept
you're tournament protected. So it makes you want to be top 5 so you can go pull and not have to worry about, well, damn, that dude's a hooker, I'm a hooker. We're going to blow each other out if I catch him. I'm not going to go and pull that because I might lose my ranking.
Listen, dude, I got to number 8. I went from unranked to like 18 to 12 to 10 to 8, all through super matches. I dropped down from 8th to 18th or 15th now just because I pulled 3 different tournaments.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think top 5, I really wish there was somebody we can talk to, and Chance may be the person to really come up with. And Dan, he's smart. He can come up with some rules and regs, but I really believe that'll keep people, hunting that top 5. It'll keep the top 5 pulling. And, I think that's the future.
Check
We
this
got to
out.
change that.
Robert Kelly says, follow the TAL rules. Robert, you need to enlighten us. Tell us what the TAL rules are. We got some guys in the chat said, do it like on Street Outlaws with ranking with a 90-day period. If the match doesn't happen, you lose your spot to the challenger. Ah, that's nice. So it it makes the guy that got called out make it fucking happen.
Yeah, and if we do the travel too, you have no reason not to. I got 90 days. He's coming to me. You have to make it happen. That's what I'm talking about. Like that type stuff right there, I think will change. I need to get to where I can read the comments. I can't read the comments.
You got to go to a different phone, to YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. Texas Piranha, which is Michael, says Texas has it to where if you call out the number 1 for a super match, you have to put a certain amount. If you win, you keep it. But if you lose, the spot holder gets the money. They also have a 90 days to make the match. And if they deny you 3 times, you lose your spot. So that's not a bad system. We might need to and what is your implementation for? You want to start doing it in FAL, just in all of Florida for our Florida rankings?
Well,
We got a lot of systems and shit, things going on here.
Well, I think that once we do it here,
I think it's good everywhere abroad.
Yeah, I think everybody will start talking about it and understand it.
Sure.
And I think from there on, I think the whole system will start running like that. I really do. I really do believe that wholeheartedly.
Gene Spiker, what up? I heard Gene Spiker's making a comeback.
Uh-oh.
You bringing that square body forward back?
Okay. Let me see here.
Similar to that, the challenger travels to the spot holder and where the spot holder wants to do it. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like Texas's system. I would love to get to just talk with Chance on this show about rankings one time and just how his in the hook system works.
Yeah.
Values, because if you have a super match, it takes less, it matters less, and blah blah blah. I don't know the system, but basically it's enough to almost knock me off the damn list. Yeah, anything, Dan, let me ask you this. You personally, are you aware what time you need to be at the tournament?
No.
You're not sure. Okay, I don't think anyone's sure. Everybody needs to tell their friends to look at the flyer. This is very important. The pros and amateurs start at completely different times. They start 4 hours apart. They have 2 separate weigh-ins. So if you got some amateurs that are going with you, they need to go separately, or you need to get there when they get there.
Okay.
So it's the amateurs amateur weigh-in is from 8 to 10. The tournament's from 10 to 2. The pro weigh-ins are from 12 to 2, and the tournament is from 2 to 6, 2 to 7, depending how we do the overalls.
Okay. And I guess they changed the rules.
What rules? This is
Or
for
not the rules. The the reffing thing that's now in the morning.
yes.
The ref seminar or whatever.
There will be one, I believe, Friday day.
Okay.
If you, for some reason, don't want to get there early and you want to do that ref seminar, contact Chance. There is going to be a private seminar happening with about 4 or 5 people testing early.
Okay.
Just so that, God forbid, we start early or whatever, we have some referees good to go. So you could probably get with Chance. You're not far from us, and do that one Friday, depending. But again, Chance is handling all of the referee seminar. So the best thing is to get with him if you have any questions as to the Friday portion. Saturday, I got you squared away. Early weigh-ins. Yes, Texas Piranha says they're an early weigh-in. Yes, there is an early weigh-in. Pro Gear, there's an early weigh-in at the venue. There's an early weigh-in at Chuck Westbury's practice headquarters. There is talks I'm going to confirm tomorrow. I'm trying to do a Southern weigh-in with Chris Rusakis. And this will all be announced tomorrow, the official early weigh-ins and all this. It'll all occur from 6 to 9 o'clock. And the key is why we can't have 1,000 of these. There's not 1,000 people with integrity in arm wrestling, believe it or not, when it comes to weigh-ins. There's a very limited amount of people that you can trust.
Mm-hmm.
And this weigh-in thing is one of these things that people get really weird about. So we got the money on the line. We're going to just avoid all that. We're going to keep it very strict. There's no weight to ounce. You're pulling 220s. That's because you're 220. And this is not how I like to do it. I personally like weight ounces. I don't like people to get naked and take their socks off and get all weird. And, just, I know what your clothes weigh. Get on here. But not here. This is going to be professional. We're running it old Karen Bean style. We'll set you up a curtain booth if you need to. Strict weigh-ins. But you will have a chance to weigh in a local location close to you. And this is just to keep arm wrestlers with a few dollars in their pocket. You giving your money to the gas station to drive 3 hours and weigh in and then come back and all that doesn't help us, doesn't help you, doesn't help anybody. It actually makes the tournament suck more for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That's where the early weigh-ins is cool. And then the split tournament, let's say that you're not coming to the ref seminar, you're not doing this, but you come to the tournament, you only got to be there at 12 o'clock. You're going to be arm wrestling by 2 and it's on and popping. There's no, watching the amateurs for 5 hours or waiting. I mean, it's 100% focused on the pros when you get there. So it's nice, man. I mean, we basically broke it up into 2 separate parts, part 1, part 2. And it's just going to make everybody's day smoother, man. It's going to cut your day from 8 hours to 5 hours. 2 separate award ceremonies, 2 separate weigh-ins, 2 separate everything. So look for that on Facebook. Look for the early weigh-in announcement, the parking. We're going to do overflow parking into the Sam's Club over there. And we got merch giveaway for the first 25 novice entries and the first 25 pro entries. You will get a free piece of merch. So get there early. Get that. Jerseys are mandatory. We have a cheap $20-something jersey that will last you the whole season. If you need a custom size, you wear some super small, super large, whatever. Go on the site and order it now. If not, day of. We will have all of them in stock. We'll have plenty. But this is all the drawing sponsored. Just give us a professional look. Daniel's wearing some of the coolest jerseys they had back in the day. And how good of a look was that? How it was, Worley, when you had that jersey on. You felt so that's what we're trying to bring to this. And 5 days out from the biggest thing we ever did in Florida, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that everybody walks in there and the first thing you say is like, wow, this shit is crazy. You
Yeah.
know?
I was listening to your podcast about you saying about the shirts with the black. That's what I like.
Yeah,
That-
you like just like the hoodies.
Yeah,
That's
I
our
agree.
design.
I would like to have a black shirt too.
Yeah, and you know, for us, I'll be honest, we've kind of absolutely went wild with this. So we're gonna expand the line, but after the tournament. But yes, that's our next shirt coming out. It's gonna be the black one with that basically looks like the hoodie, but a t-shirt version. That black is popping. That next season might need to have black jerseys, huh?
Yeah,
That black,
yeah.
the black looks great with the yellow touch. This
Ashley
one,
said she wants a pink one.
No, for breast cancer awareness, and then you put the proceeds towards that. Like a
if
charity.
there's a little bit of yellow on there, we'll allow it.
No, she said it'd be cool to do one for like the month of October. Have pink jerseys and like whoever buys them, the money goes to like breast cancer awareness stuff like that.
Love that idea.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
Shelby says, do you have a board of directors for the FAL where people could offer ideas, rules, and guidelines are made up? We actually do. We have exactly this where we vote on a bunch of different things from should Trent Johns be fired as the referee or not?
Yes.
Yeah, we do have that. Get in touch with me if you're interested in being a part of that and putting your input, as well as anybody else. You know, and the other thing too is if anybody's good at something, you guys got something to offer the FAL. Maybe you're good at marketing, you make websites. You know, maybe you do some cool shit. Get in touch with us. You know, there's a million things we could do to expand, and this is all, you know, it's all Florida based, dude. This is it's just the same 200 people that always been around here. So we're just leveling up, taking everything, and now it's a big cooperative.
Yeah, if anybody's got ideas, shoot me a message, Brandon a message, Chance a message, and we'll definitely get together and talk about it for sure.
All right, let's go over the details of this last time before I shut it down. This is a complicated bit, right? There's a lot of things going on for this tournament. It is the Florida Arm Wrestling League's season opener. That in itself is complicated. It's part of an 11-part series. The 11th piece is the finale, the $10,000 cash prize, all of this. We're going to have a year-end award ceremony, but this is the first season. You collect your points by winning the tournaments. Okay, it is also an East versus West qualifier, but let's talk about the point system for the FAL. You win the tournament, it's worth 6 points. You take second place, it is worth 4 points. You take third place, it's worth 2. Just by signing up in in the class, you get 1 point. Okay, these points are accumulated per class per hand. So, for example, Brandon Morris is in the 220 right, and he's in the 190 right, 198 right. These are separate classes. I'm in 2 separate races. They are split up with the prize money at the end based upon the percentage of entries into each one. So the heavier classes, the classes that get more action will get more prize money. There's also 5 points for the overall. So the maximum amount of points you can get by winning your class, you would get 6 points. You would get 5 for winning it, and you would get 1 for entering. I'm sorry, 6 for winning it and 1 for entering. You can get 5 more for winning the overall. So you can get 12 points in a day is the maximum possibility for a single hand, single class. These are accumulated over the 11 tournaments, and then we determine the winner. However, what's special about this first tournament is it's East versus West qualifier. The East versus West, the top 2 are going on to the finals. So it's not just the winners, it's the top 2, but it is the 76 class, the 98, the 240, and the supers. 154 and 220s. They do not have that at East versus West. So while you guys will still get your points, get your awards, get all this, you simply will not qualify for the East versus West thing. So if you'd like to bump up, that's absolutely fine. For example, that's what Worley's doing. He might have 220. He knows the 220 doesn't exist over at East versus West. They only have 240, so he's going to qualify at 240. you know, this is a blessing and a curse, but the goal is to have as many people as we can over there, and you know, have Florida ultimately represented on the East versus West. We have Chance over there. We need to get Artem. We need to get a few others. We need Shark over there. We need Wade. We need Worley. You know, we need some of the hitters right now. Noel would be nice if he could get back. So
I'd like to see Wilton back 100%.
yeah, it would be nice. But
Hey, Will looks super strong at Florida State.
he looked good.
He looks super strong.
He won right hand supers. Right hand.
Looks super strong. That joker is
So
super strong.
February 4th, Pro Gear Gym. Everybody check out the flyer, read the flyer, look into it different times. But other than that, I'll see y'all out there.
All right, brother.
We're gonna have one more show Thursday. So anybody that wants to hop on, if you're on here, I recommend everyone get on. We get about 20 people on here at once. Go crazy right before the tournament. But other than that, I'll see everybody this Saturday.
All right,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Peace.
Later, guys.
Bye.